welcome to Posca Club. This week we're going to draw cats, cheeky cats, naughty cats. We've done naughty cats before in the past, and it was a really good one to draw because cats just have this like mischievous nature that we're going to have a little go at drawing today. Yeah, it's going to be nice and easy. What we're going to do as well with today's drawing is we're going to draw a cat, but then we're going to draw some liquid halfway down. So we're going to switch up the colours to make it look like there's liquid and the cat is being viewed from behind the liquid. It'll make a lot more sense when we actually do it. Nice work, Donut. Yeah, mate, that looks awesome. Yeah, let me switch and show you what colours we're going to use. Sketchbook is all over the place. There we go. So these are the kind of colours that I'm going to start with. Where's my black? I do need a black pen in there as well. So up on top we're going to use yellow. Yellow is going to be a background colour, and then we're going to use grey and pink. Grey and pink will be the colours for the cat. Cat is going to be grey and the inner ears are going to be pink. Okay, background colour yellow. Then when we get behind the liquid, behind the water line, the cat will become this emerald colour. Where is my... There we go. The cat will become this emerald colour. The background will become this... Sorry, the background will become this aqua colour. But then we also want to throw in this orange. We're going to put in a cheeky fish in the water as well. Okay. So have that orange handy. I think I did say in the WhatsApp chat, bring a brown, but I don't think we're going to use that brown. But if you've got it handy anyway, it might be a good alternative colour to the nose, and I'll explain why we might use that brown later. But I think those three colours for the top, look at those, really nice colours. These three colours for down the bottom, and then a couple of black pens is what we need for today's session, okay? As I was saying as well, if possible, what you want is something that's circular. Why are you asking? What's going on, Athena? What are you... Okay, Athena is requesting you to start meeting questions. All participants... No, I'm not doing that. I'm declining that, Athena. Even if you did accidentally do it, don't worry. We ain't got time for questions. Where was I until Athena interrupted? We were a circular shape. Just narrower, just smaller than the sketchbook is ideally what you want. If you haven't got that, don't stress, doesn't matter too much, okay? Right, let's go and put some shapes on. Let's go and take that background colour. I'm using straw yellow. That yellow is going to be my background colour. And then this is what we're going to draw with the circle. Nice big circle. Let's go. Something like that. That's not bad for a circle, is it? That's pretty close. Give it your best shot. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit wobbly. You know me, I love a wonky shape. Donut, that's pretty spot on, mate. That is nice. So circle, right? Circle is and we did that in the yellow. The yellow is going to be the background colour. Then go and grab the grey. Grey is going to be our cat colour. So whatever colour you're going to draw the cat, we're now going to go and draw some lines in for the cat. Okay. Now these lines, we're going to come up one side. We're going to put an ear in across the top of the head, another ear, and down the other side. Okay. What we want is for both ears to kind of pop outside the top of this circle, but the head to be inside. Okay. It's going to look like this. So up there, outside, back in, across, that kind of a shape. Okay, doesn't have to be, don't worry about it being exactly the same as mine. Don't worry if your ears are fatter, skinnier, not as pointy, whatever you want. That's kind of where we need to be. Okay, keep hold of that grey. Let's just carry on using that grey. What we're going to do now is two great big circles across the top. Now, when we're drawing these circles in, the thing to remember is the water line is going to go through the eyes, right in the middle of the circles. You're doing a black cat? Yeah, that might work, mate. The water line is going to go right through the eyes, okay? So go and grab your grey and do two circles for big eyes. Remembering we've got space, leave space for a fish down the bottom here. We got that? Okay, just a couple more colours now. A couple more guidelines and then we're done. Last guideline we're going to use is the lighter of the watercolours. So if you remember, I was using aqua and emerald. We're going to use the aqua, the lighter of the watercolours. So if you're using light blue and blue, or light blue and sky blue, just use the lighter of the watercolours. And then this line is going to be a water line. It's going to go all the way through the middle of the eyes. I'm going to just draw a straight line. If you want to do a bouncy line, a wavy line, something like that, you can do whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to draw a straight line that goes through the watercolour like that. Last bit before we start colouring in. Go and quickly go and grab your orange, I was about to call it. Grab your orange and we're going to go and put in a circle for a fish. We've got the circle for the fish. Go and throw a little triangle out the back for a tail. Throw a little fin on the top. Watch this. See how it just comes out from the circle, jumps out and then drops back in again. Do 2 of those at the bottom. And we'll throw some fins in later. Okay, that's good enough for our guidelines, that is. What we're going to do now is going to start chucking on some colour for this character, for this piece. And don't forget, we are going to put some black outlines on as well. So don't worry too much if the colouring in doesn't look great. If the joins don't look great, the black outlines will hide loads of those. Okay, you ready then? Let's go and do some colouring in. Let's start with the pink. Let's go and do the inner ears with the pink. Now, when I say the inner ears, what I mean is we inside there want to do a little triangle. Just there. None of my pens are working. There we go, that's better. Inner ear, little triangle in there, colour it in pink. Same on the other side, look. Little triangle, colour it in pink. Doesn't have to be perfect by any means because we are going to cut a lot of that out later anyway. Now, if you remember, one of the things I said was what we're going to do is we're going to change the colour of everything as it goes in underwater. Yeah, so we're going to change the colours a little bit. So it's all going to be blues and greens. Well, it's all going to be greeny kind of blues down here. So what we need to consider is the cat's nose. I thought the cat's nose would look great as brown because pink and a little bit of this greeny blue together would be brown. So if you want to do this in brown, go and throw this shape in brown. I'm going to just do it in pink. I think it'll be all right. I think we'll get away with it. But yeah, if you think that will look better in brown, then go and throw that in brown. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep my colours to a minimum so I don't go and throw too many colours at it. Okay, we've got that. Let's go and work on the outside. We've got 3 sections. 1, 2, 3. Let's go and colour those in with that yellow. So look, just take that shape across there, up there. Colour that bit in yellow. Nice and light as you're colouring in. Don't press too hard when you're colouring in. Oops. There we go. Careful you don't smudge anything. Like I say, lots of colour on today's one, so I want to steam through, throwing on all this colour as quick as possible. So remember to keep your pen primed. Make sure it's wet. Don't wait for it to dry up before you do that. If you wait for it to get dry, then you've waited too long. There we go, we've got that top bit and then this one little bit around the side here. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see what we're doing. There you go. That's where you should be at. Let's keep it going, shall we? Give that yellow a few seconds to dry, then let's go back up top in the grey. So I'm going to colour the rest of the cat in grey. I know you're doing a black cat. So yeah, go and colour the top half. Just anything above that line needs... Was it? Okay, no, cool, mate. Essentially, though, what we want, just remember this bit, okay? What we want is that whatever the top colour is, down here is going to be a mix of a watery colour and this top colour. So, for example, if I'm going to go grey up the top here, and then I'm going to use aqua green down the bottom here, okay? So just be careful if you're changing colours, if you're doing different colours to me. Try and get two colours that are going to look like they work okay. The only way of really finding that out is by just throwing it on, hoping for the best. If it works out, great. If it don't work out, we can always just colour over it, can't we? So here we go, just top half, look, round there. Colour it in grey. Leave the eyes. Work your way across. Anybody wants to make their cat look a bit angrier or a bit sadder, then go and take a little slice at the top of the eyes. Now's the time to do that. I think I'm going to do that. So like this, look, we can take that little slice, look. Just make my cat look a little bit angrier, that will. Like it's capable of eating this fish that we're going to draw. Use this as an opportunity to cut out your ears. So just going over those pink bits. Look how sharp those points are around the ears. That's what you want. See how all those yellow lines that we did at the start for that big circle, they're all disappearing now. Beautiful. Keep hold of that grey. Because what we're going to try now is we're going to draw in the pupil of the cat. The pupil is going to be half in the air, half in the water. So with this grey, let's go and put in a pupil just here, look. There's a nice massive pupil, and then just the half that is in the water, we're going to colour that in grey. Just the half that's in the water. Go and do the same kind of thing over on the other side. Big pupil. The section of the pupil that's underwater, go and colour that in grey. How are we doing for... Oh, yeah, we're doing great for time, so I'll just slow it up a little bit. We'll see if we can get the colouring done within the next 13 minutes. It'll fly by. So don't take your foot off the gas, get it all done. Right, ready for the next colour. Let's go and colour in the bottom half of our character. We'll come back to those eyes in a second. Bottom half of the character though. So if you remember, the colours I had down there were aqua, emerald and orange. Orange is obviously for the fish, so let's park that for a little while. Aqua is going to be for the background, so let's park that. And we're going to colour in the cat. So we want the emerald green for the cat. Everything down the bottom here that isn't a fish, There isn't a nose, there isn't eyes. We're going to colour in with this emerald. So let's down, making sure my pen's primed. Down there, let's go across, around the eyes. In fact, let's outline it all first. Look. So we're going to go around both eyes and across the top of the head there, or the halfway up the head. Let's go around that nose. Again, use it as an opportunity to tidy up the shape of that nose. Chop out those corners. And let's go around the fish as well. Around the rest of the cat. Around the bottom bit here. There you go. Now it's nice and easy. We can zone out as we colour this in. So if it's an eye, leave it. If it's a nose, leave it. If it's a fish, leave it. But everything else down this bottom half needs to be this darker colour. Remember, nice and light as you're colouring in. Don't press too hard on the paper. That's how you get ridges. If you want it to look like it's been printed off, you need to press really, really gently. Just work our way across. Look. Just consider where you're going to put your hand so that you're not working somewhere, colouring in a bit where you need to put your hand next. So if you're right-handed like me, just start at the top, start at the left, work your way across. If you're left-handed, do it the other way around. Still start at the top. Get that bit around where the face of the fish is, those bits where the lips are going to go, or the mouth is going to go. Get that bit done nice and early so it's got plenty of time to dry. We don't want to do that bit last. Get that bit just there. Make sure that's coloured in. Give it time to dry. Beautiful. How we doing? Right, remember those pupils? We drew a grey pupil, a circle in grey. We coloured the bottom half of the pupil in grey. We're going to colour the top half of the pupil in black. I'm going to use my 3M, getting in quite close for this. Careful, because all this down the bottom is going to be wet. But just across there, look. Get rid of that grey outline that you did around the top. That's got to disappear underneath the black line, underneath the black shape. That's what you're looking for, something like that. Let's go and do something similar on the other side. Again, making sure that grey outline across the top disappears completely. Last couple of bits of colouring in, and then we're done. Well, then it's half time. We're not done. It's half time. last couple of bits. We've done emerald green for the fish, for the cat. Let's go and do aqua green now for the background. Not only for the background, just here and here, but also the background of the whites of the eyes. So in this bit, look. That's a nice easy bit to do. But also we're going to turn the whites of the eyes into this colour as well. Just the bottom half. That's how it's going to look. That's one half done up. Going to go and do the other half. So I'm going to start off with the white of the eye first. Last little section over here on the right hand side. Another little bit of background. Get rid of that last little yellow line that's just popping through. So we're going over that completely. You want to make that yellow line disappear. Okay, you ready for the fish? We've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes till half time, so let's go and do the fish. Main thing to remember about the fish is go and give it an eye as well. So lips and an eye. So grab that orange that we were using. Let's go and throw in a massive eyelet. If you do a big eye, it means there's not too much colouring in that you need to do. Also, go and put some massive lips on. We'll do the lips on first because we might need to give them a couple of coats, so we need it to dry first. But over here, look. Two little bouncy lines going out there for some lips. And then let's colour in the rest of our fish with a bit of orange. Of course, if you wanted to, you could do different colours for your fish. You could turn this into a clownfish and have like orange and white stripes. Generally, a clownfish, orange and white stripes, and then thin black lines in there as well. Whilst you're colouring in, use this as an opportunity to refine the shape of your fish as well. Maybe you want to make the tail a little bit more flamboyant. Yeah, flick a few lines out here and there. Don't forget to go over those lips again as soon as those lips are dry. Go over them again. Orange is a difficult colour to use to go over the top of other colours. So you'll always need to give it a couple of coats. Right. How are we doing for time? 3 minutes. Right, one more thing. One more thing before we have our halftime show is, do you want to add a little bit of fur on the side of the cat? For example, go and grab this emerald green. Do you want to add some bits like this? A little bit of fur sticking out. on either side. Do it now because we'll cut in, make those lines extra sharp later on. In fact, we'll probably put a black line around them, so I think we'll be okay with it. Okay, that's it. That's our half-time point. And as well, you know, if you wanted to put a little bit of fur flicking at the top of the head here, now's the time to go and add those chunks of fur in. If not, let's see how everybody's done. So when you're ready, whip yourself into gallery view, hold up your artwork to screen, and show us what you've done. So yeah, top right corner of the screen, click on view, click on gallery view, hold it up to screen. Let's have a look. Who's up first? Anybody? Donut. Donut's going with like a black cat. So it's that deep grey on top, is it? And then English green at the bottom. That's looking really nice. Perfect colour choice, mate. It's exactly what it needed to be. Well done. Awesome stuff. Cheers, Donut. Well done, you. Elsa has gone for blues down the bottom, so the light blue and the sky blue. I've only just had a great brand new sky blue. I've been without a sky blue for ages. That's how new my sky blue is. And I miss it so much. But yeah, perfect colour choice. Oh, look at the eyebrows as well. You're pointing them in to make it look sad, like it can't get the fish. Nice touch. Cheers, Elsa. Thank you very much. Jess, how are we getting on? Those pens look like they're running out a little bit, or a little bit drippy in places as well. That's looking good, though. Yeah, perfect. I'm not. You carry on. Do a little bit of catching up if you can, Jess. Thank you very much. Well done, Chris. I hope you're doing well, mate. I think you're camera-less, aren't you? So we'll have a look at yours at another stage. Francis, thanks for joining, mate. I didn't see you at the beginning, but thank you for joining in. I hope you're doing well. Just on this point, any of you guys that are not in the Korp Academy community, don't forget you've got access to that. So it's a space where you can go and share your artwork. It's a private space as well. You guys, as like full premium Korp Academy members, get free access to that. So if you're struggling to get in, just let me know. Send me a message, and I'll get you in there. But it's a good place for you to share your artwork. It's like it's a little bit like Facebook, but private, no adverts. It's good. Right, back into speaker view, everybody. Back into speaker view, and let's go and put the rest of our... Let's go put some black outlines in, shall we? I'm going to use a 3M. For the majority of my outlines, I'm going to use a 3M. Might go into a 1M. In fact, no, I'm going to stick with a 3M, and we'll cut in to taper off all the lines, yeah? Where's my 3M? There it is. Okay, ready? Let's start putting in some outlines. So let's start across the top, shall we? We're going to go and put in the outside part of the cat. Starting at the top there, bring it down. Look. Just go through everything. I say go through everything. Go through that line. That's the bit to go through. Let me just zoom in a little bit there. There we go. Let's double line it. We double line everything we do, don't we? Double line it, knowing that we can come back and we can tidy up some of these lines if we need to. But a wonky line always looks pretty cool. Okay, let's go down the ear, the inner ear now. And whilst we're over there, before we start doing the other side, let's go and do the inner ear. Just double lining it. Nothing special, no flick offs or anything like that needed for this session. Let's go across the head. And then finish off with the other ear. Look how streaky that is. If you get that, if you get like streakiness coming through, wait for it to dry. As soon as it's dry, you can go over it again. That streakiness was just coming through because the pen was like half dry when I went over it again. I just ended up scraping up all the paint. Let's get down this side, all the way through the waterline. Into those little bits of fur. Double line it nice and wonky. Look at the line weight there. It's all over the place. That's exactly what you want. Nice messy line. Let's keep it going. Other ear, inner ear. Now we can start working on those eyes. Well, actually, no. Let's sorry. Before we work on the eyes, let's carry on. Let's stay up the top. Let's go around the top of this yellow disc, because I don't want us to be backwards and forwards. It's going to be easier for us to do that now. So let's go around the top. We are going to go all the way through that, so don't worry about stopping and starting just there. Just keep it nice and thin and tapered. So when we do the other line, it will join in beautifully. That's good. Now we can start working on the eyes. So it's mainly a case of thinking about, right, where are all the flicked lines going to be on your eyes. So for example, I'm gonna go from there, flick up there. So if you're doing the same as me, just put these lines in. We'll taper them out later. Got that line going across the eyelet. Remember that slice that we took out? Flick it off. Don't worry too much about flicking off perfectly, because we are going to taper that out with the grey. Anyway, let's carry on down the bottom. Let's do another little flick. And around the rest of the eye. Nice and wonky with your line work. So the only consistent thing about your line work should be how inconsistent they are. But yeah, we'll just chuck on some big lines like that, and we'll tidy those up a little bit later. Let's go and do the same kind of thing over on the other eye. So we've got that line on the inside first, the line across the top of the eye. Just remember to flick out quite a lot. It's always worth as well, when you're doing these lines and you know you're going to taper them back, make them a little bit bigger than you think they need to be, because when you taper them back, you're going to make them quite a bit shorter. It gives you a lot more to work with if you make them too big. Little flick out down the bottom, join the rest of the eyeball up. Thick intersections as well. You remember how those lines need to be thicker, where they join on to another line in like a T-junction. So look at that, just where the eye goes there, underneath the eyebrow, just make that a little bit thicker. Let's keep on working our way down. This time we're going to do that water line that goes all the way across. I don't know if anybody's done like a bouncy line or anything like that. I've kept it nice and flat because last time we did a drawing like this, it was a bouncy line, so I just wanted to make it different. But just going all the way across, let's just hit all these points. Got all these points to hit. Going where all these colours change. Keep on going all the way across. beautiful. Let's get into the nose. Just give that nose an outline. Little flick down at the bottom of the nose if you can, just a little tiny flick. We don't want to get too close to the fish there. And then let's go round the fish, shall we? Ready for this then? So let's do the lips first. Look. See how the lips, we're just flicking into the fish's body a little bit. We'll taper those out later. Let's work our way backwards across the fish. So we'll do the eye first. So we're going to outline the eye. Did you want to add some extra little flicks to give the eye a bit of emotion? I think I'm going to go that way. With a little flick going up like that. Throw in the pupil. I'm going to put the pupil looking up because we're looking at the cat. And then let's go around the rest of the fish. Lots of little flick lines coming into the fish, especially around the back here. So, in fact, if we do this bit first, look, this bit around the back going into the tail. See how that line is just a little bit bigger on both sides. Do the same down the bottom here. Just a bit around the back. We'll taper this out with the orange later. Just make that line a little bit bigger. Or a little bit longer than it. Both those lines a little bit longer than they need to be, because we are going to shorten them later. And then we can go around the rest of the fish. Do the fin at the top, do the fin at the bottom, double lining as you're going along. Because you're on wet paint as well, just press as gentle as you can. Around the tail fin. This is why I double line everything. Like you can still see a little bit of orange just poking at the back of the tail fin. The reason I double line stuff is so that I can get it the next time. Last little thing, a little kind of plectrum shape, like a little triangle shape, but leave the point open. So just here, look. Little plectrum shape. That's going to be another little fin, obviously. You can see what that is. Give yourself, if there's any other like little black lines that you want to add in anywhere on this character that you know you're going to taper out later, now's the time to go and add them in. So for example, I'm going to add a few in. I'm going to add black line there, look, knowing that I'm going to taper that top and that bottom bit. So I've left myself a nice big bit of emerald green there to taper that out. You don't want to be tapering next to this horizontal line. You want a nice big area to play around with. I'm going to put a little bag underneath the fish's eye. Like that. Let's go around the bottom. This is the last little bit then. Around the bottom of this circle. Let's double line it. We might even give this bit a power line. later, so don't worry too much about getting it just right. There we go. Let's just tidy up this side. Look. It's all looking good. Okay, we're now in a place where we're going to just spend a couple of minutes tapering out each line, okay? So let's start at the top. Let's work our way down, start tapering everything out. So, for example, I'm going to go straight in with the grey. This colour that I've used for the top part of the cat. I'm going to taper out the ears, look, just sharpen those bits off. Maybe you want them rounded. Nothing wrong with having round ears. I like having the sharp points in there, so I'm going to put some sharp points up the top there. We've got a bunch of lines across here, across the top of the eyes. They all need tapering out as well, so let's just get in those. So just take a little bit out of both sides. What a difference that makes. You compare one side to the other. Let's do this side now. I would say when you're tapering out the lines like that, try and get it right the first time. I know that's like a no-brainer, but if you get it right first time, great. If you don't get it right first or second attempt, just leave it to dry, come back to it a little bit later. Don't keep on going over it, because what you're at risk then of making it so that you're kind of muddying up some of the colour underneath. So just give it a couple of goes, come back to it if you can't do it. Let's work down, let's move down a little bit. Got some more tapering to do. This time we're going to take that cat colour that we've got, start tapering some of the lines out down the bottom as well. You'll get to a point where you're really quick and good at this. There we go, a little shop out there as well. Don't forget those little bits of fur. Remember we did those bits of fur on the outside, maybe even on the top of the head. You want to chop in these lines as well, make them nice and sharp. Not just on the inside, but get on the outside as well. So now I'm going to use my aqua green, tidy up some of those lines on the outside. If they need them, they might not need them. You might have absolutely nailed yours. You might like the round edge look. It's all personal preference. Beautiful. Right, let's get into the fish. Our fish is the last bit to tidy up. So we've got a bunch of lines in there that we need to taper. So around the mouth. Now, because you're tapering with orange and you're tapering out black, orange is very transparent. So as you're tapering out, just press as gently as you can. Make sure your nib is really wet, but press as gently as you can. And what that's going to do is just going to leave like a thick coat of paint across the top there. If you press hard, you're just going to get a thin coat of paint, and you're going to have to give it a couple of goes. Get in the fin there, in that little tiny fin. There's an arm. You know what I mean. In there. Bags under the eye. Just going to tidy up that fish a little bit. Just going to bring some of those black lines back. I've gone over a little bit there. Yeah, that was it. That was the only line I needed to do. So yeah, a little bit of tidying up around the place. Let's put some whiskers in. Generally when I'm drawing whiskers, rather than flicking the pen all the way out with a real thin line, I think it's just as good to do 3 little black dots. For me, that looks just like whiskers, although mine are really lopsided there. Look at that. One's really close to the nose, the other isn't. I think I can get away with that. Last little bit. I don't know if I said to bring a white, but we do need to just bring a little white pen and then just throw in some little bubbles. Let's put in some little bubbles around the fish. And then scatter some more. All over the place like that. We're on the home straight. Anything else you want to add into yours to make it look a little bit more personal? Extra bits of fur. We haven't got a mouth on our cat. We're going to make the mouth behind the fish. That was the plan. So you could just leave it like that, or you could do a little mouth over on the side here. Yeah, anything now that just to make it a little bit more personal. Now's the time to do it. I'm going to put some little more details in the fish. There you go, some just little broken lines just to give our fish a little bit more shape. And then maybe put some little spots on it. Last few seconds. I'm going to put some white reflections in those eyes, those big eyes that we've got on the cat. White reflections just brings that cat alive. Let's make it a little bit more disheveled, so I'm going to put in some random little flicks of cat fur all over the place. Just throw a little drip or two down the bottom. Okay, figure out where you're going to sign your piece. Let's whack a signature on it. I'm gonna fix those because they're bothering me. And then we'll see how people have done. Let's just flick a few more little lines around the eyes while I'm waiting for that to dry. I think that's a better position. Okay, let's leave it like that then. There you go. I think that's a finish. Nice little cheeky cat drawing. Let's see how everyone else has done with theirs. So when you're ready, we've lost a few people in the second half. Was I pushing you too hard? Paint all over me. When you're ready then, let's have a little look, see what people have done. Doesn't matter if it's not your best work, just show it off and it'll be fine. Look at that. Oh, the eyes look amazing on that as well. I think as well what makes it work is it looks like you've used a deep grey as well for the actual cat colour, which is closer for the eyes. So the eyes still look very, very, the pupils look very dark and dilated, which is great. Fish looks perfect. Nice little shape on the fish. And actually, I quite like the fact that the cat is very kind of slim and straight down. Just noticed that. Beautiful stuff. Thanks. Nice one, Elsa. Thank you very much, mate. Cool. Right, let me see. Is Jess coming on? Jess, how did you get on with yours? Mate, Jess, that's a strong finish. That worked out brilliant. I like your fish looks a little bit deformed. Those big fat lips. I mean, it looks like one of the fish from The Simpsons. Maybe we can give it 3 eyes. But the eyes on the cat look amazing. I like the fact you've got one with a little cut off like that, and the other one is like wide open. Crazy eyes. A little bit of finishing off there, Jess, but that looks really good. Lovely stuff. Thanks, Jess. Well done. Beautiful. Right, Chris, mate, pop it in the community space or on the WhatsApp group or something like that. I'd love to see what you've been drawing. Same with you, Francis. If you're up for it, pop it in the community space or the WhatsApp group so I can have a little look at what you've been drawing. It's always good to share your art. And yeah, thank you very much for taking part. I hope you enjoyed that. Back again tomorrow at about the same time for another cheeky cat doodle. So yeah, thanks for taking part. I'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.